here, and I have the Honorable Reverend Jesse Jackson here standing next to me. Reverend Jackson.
I'm proud to be standing with you, man.
It's good to hear. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you guys for allowing us to communicate to the people. There is a sense of urgency, an emergency that we're living in now. And there's one thing worse than being in an emergency, is that's being in one that don't know you're in it. 7,000 blacks are murdered a year. 300,000 blacks have been murdered since 1976. This is absolute genocide. In the NATO conference in Chicago 3 weeks ago, we lost 1,700 soldiers in Afghanistan in 10 years, 5,300 in Chicago alone. So we must have a mass movement to stop guns from coming in and jobs from going out. In Iraq, they got 40,000 troops and 65,000 contractors. The troops keep guns out while contracts and jobs come in. Here's the opposite. Jobs going out, guns are coming in. So we're caught in that crossfire. So we have our conference July 10th through 14th. We're going to deal in a real measure. We must rally to think this thing through. The 10th focus will be on poverty. Children are going to school, malnourished, can't get food, can't get glasses, can't get hearing assistance. In Chicago last year, 307,000 days, our kids were suspended from school. Many of them were malnourished, did not have books, did not have Wi-Fi at home, stuff like that. And that night, the focus will be on alternative banking. I mean, a lot of people cannot go in the front door of the bank to borrow money. They push them to the payday lender, who often exploits them. We need to regulate the back door, because it's the only door they can get in to get access to capital. So that day, July 10th, is about that. And those who are interested in being a part of this fight for ending poverty and access to capital should call us at www.rainbowpush.org. Big focus Wednesday will be on South Africa 100 years later. They're going from degradation to now running the country. At noontime, the business luncheon, access to capital, industry, technology, deal flow, business. And then later that night, a focus on Black and Latino, a plenary session. Young blacks must learn to speak Spanish. Young Latinos must learn to speak English. Why? Because we're each other's neighbor, we're each other's future.
Yes.
The 100 largest is a majority black and brown. We have differ by language, but not differ by condition, I might add. And the big focus of that night will be on how can we relate to each other without having these silly, murderous fights. Big focus Thursday is going to be on labor, workers' right to collective bargaining. Dr. King's last act was to fight for workers. They had the right to have the strength collectively to bargain for wages and benefits and pensions. Right now, those workers are under attack. Noontime, a minister's session on church and home foreclosures. Banks targeted our community, took away our homes, took away our cash investment, pushed us in poverty. Wide open daylight robbery. That night will be a focus on for our athletes' life beyond the playing field. These kids play ball 3 or 4 years, then it's over. And so if you get $1 million divided by 20, don't spend it that year, because you will not make $1 million 4 years now, a twisted knee later. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Big focus. Friday's going to be on education. We still convince strong minds break strong chains. We cannot go any further. Last year, 307,000 days suspended from school in Chicago. 307,000 days. Throwing our kids away. And parents are not connected enough to do anything about it. Women's luncheon that day is going to be on how do women fight for pay equity and fight for public policy, not just beauty contests, but fight for jobs, justice, fair pay, and access to development. And we close the night by giving away about 400 scholarships. We plan to give away about $400,000 in scholarships for our youth. Many of them have quick minds, have all the right stuff, they just don't have the money. So we've gone and knocked on doors, raising money to send our children to college.
So when people leave this conference, what do you want them to take away from it?
One, I want people to know that their vote matters. November 6th is a huge election. We go forward by hope or backwards by fear. Second, we must stop guns from coming in and jobs from going out. Thirdly, massive voter registration. And fourthly, access to capital. It's a cruel thing to throw somebody in a swimming pool without water. Throw somebody in capitalism without capital is just as cruel. You can't swim without water. You can't function without capital. And so we want people to leave with a sense of economic justice, voter empowerment, education empowerment, and be prepared to fight the big fight November 6th, because that's the championship day for American politics.
And if you have an issue you'd like for us to cover, reach out to us at contact@BlackAmericaTalks.tv.